It feels like almost everyone has some kind of wearable technology these days. A watch, a ring, a band, something on our body constantly gathering data about our health. But what if that little device could do more than just show you numbers? What if it could actually, coach you?
I mean, think about it. Every single day, your watch is logging your steps, checking your heart rate, analyzing how well you slept. It's creating this incredibly detailed digital picture of your life. It is just a massive, constant stream of personal data, right there on your wrist.
But here's the big problem, right? Having all that data is one thing, but actually knowing what to do with it, that's a whole different story. Your watch might tell you you slept for 5 hours and 28 minutes, but it doesn't explain why that's not good enough or give you a smart, personalized plan to fix it. We are swimming in data, but we're often starved for answers. Well, this is where things get really interesting. New research from Google is tackling this exact problem. They're developing a brand new kind of AI that's designed to finally bridge that gap between just having data and getting real actionable advice from it.
It's called the Personal Health Large Language Model, or PH-LLM for short. Now, the key thing to understand here is that this isn't just some generic chatbot. This is a version of Google's super powerful Gemini model that has been specifically trained, what they call fine-tuned, to understand the unique language of wearable data and translate it into actual coaching.
So, how does it all work? Well, it's actually pretty straightforward. Step 1, your device just does what it always does, collecting all that daily health data. Then, step 2, the PLLM gets to work, looking for patterns in your sleep, your activity, everything. And finally, step 3, instead of just seeing a bunch of charts and numbers, you get personalized insights and real, concrete recommendations.
Okay, that all sounds fantastic in theory. But the real question is, how good is it really? To find out, the researchers put this AI through some seriously tough tests, even pitting it directly against human professionals. So the first test was all about book smarts. The researchers basically asked, can our AI pass the exact same really difficult certification exams that sleep medicine doctors and elite strength and conditioning coaches have to take to get certified? I mean, that is a seriously high bar. And the first result was, well, it was a little bit shocking. On the sleep medicine certification exam, a group of human experts, we're talking people with an average of 25 years of experience, scored a 76%. The AI, the PH-LLM, scored a 79%. It actually beat the human experts.
And if you thought that was impressive, check this out. On the fitness side of things, for the Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist exam, the human experts scored 71%. The PH-LLM, it scored a whopping 88%. It didn't just pass, it passed with flying colors.
Okay, so the AI is a genius when it comes to the textbook stuff. It's got the knowledge down pat. But can it apply that knowledge in the real world? The next challenge was designed to move this whole thing from theory to practice. For this next test, the researchers took 857 real-world case studies. We're talking weeks of actual data from real people using their wearables. Then they had both the AI and human experts give coaching advice based on that exact same data. And here's a taste of the kind of advice the AI gave out. See, it's not just a number, it's an insight and a specific, actionable recommendation. It identifies the problem, sleeping less than 6 hours, calls it unhealthy, and then proposes a very clear solution, a new, consistent sleep schedule. So, what was the final verdict? Well, in sleep coaching, human experts rated the AI's advice at a 4.61 out of 5, which is just barely behind the human expert's own score of 4.75. And for fitness coaching, the performance was so close it was considered statistically the same. The AI is, for all practical purposes, performing at the level of a human coach. All right, this brings us to the final, and if you ask me, the most fascinating challenge of all. Can an AI go beyond just the hard data and actually understand how we feel? Can it read between the numbers? Let me put it this way. Your watch knows the objective fact. You slept for exactly 5 hours. But does it have any clue that you feel totally exhausted? Can it connect that measurement to the subjective, very human feeling of being tired? That's what the researchers wanted to find out next. So they tested the PH-LLM's ability to predict people's self-reported feelings. Things like tiredness or how refreshed you feel, restlessness, even your overall sleep quality, all based only on the raw sensor data. These are things you'd normally have to ask a person directly.
And the result?
It actually worked. The AI was able to successfully predict these subjective feelings using only the objective data from the wearable. In fact, its performance was on par with other AI models that were designed specifically for this one single task. That is a huge leap forward.
So, what does this all mean for the future of our health? I mean, this technology clearly holds an enormous amount of promise, but the researchers themselves are quick to point out that there are still some pretty big challenges ahead.
The promise is massive, right? A truly personalized 24/7 health coach available to pretty much anyone. But there are very real dangers we have to navigate. One of the biggest is the risk of AI confabulations. That's a fancy way of saying the AI just makes stuff up. And in a health context, an invented fact isn't just wrong, it could be actively dangerous. So making sure this thing is accurate and reliable is absolutely the next frontier.
And that really leaves us with the big question at the end of the day. This technology is not science fiction anymore. It's here, and it's getting smarter all the time. So, after seeing all of this, you have to ask yourself, would you trust an AI to be your personal health coach?